Good evening, everybody. Yeah. They're moving around right now. Yeah, baby. What's up? Good evening, everybody. Good evening. If you first time on the show, if it's your first time on my show, make sure you put a 1. Shout out to Tony on TikTok. Shout out to Maria. Shout out to Yolanda on Facebook. On Instagram. We got anybody on Instagram yet? Oh, we ain't turned on Instagram. All right, y'all. Now we're on Instagram. Yeah. Y'all get ready to ask questions. Let's rethink failure. That's what we're doing today. We're rethinking failure. I'm gonna help you rethink how you've been thinking. All right, let's start adding people on here. Let's start inviting people on here. Good evening, everybody. Good evening on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram. Appreciate y'all joining me right now. It's 8:24, so we're on here actually a little earlier than when I usually get on here. And today we're talking about let's rethink failure, right? Because everybody thinks, man, I'm afraid to do this. I'm afraid to do that because they have too much fear of failing, right? They don't want to fail. That's the main thing that people put in their head. I do not want to fail. Sometimes fear is more stronger than their faith, right? It just happens. Their fear is way more stronger than their faith, right? But some of the best things have came out from people failing, you know? For instance, me. So, for instance, when I was sick, when I had high blood pressure, when I had all this wrong with me, when I was overweight and everything was wrong with me, I failed. And the last thing was me becoming type 2 diabetic. I failed completely, right? Well, I could have easily just gave up. I could have gave up and accepted what was wrong with me or what was going to happen to me. So at that time, I failed. That's what happened to me. I failed deep. But since I failed, a lot of amazing things have happened to me. A lot of growth has happened to me. Sometimes we fall and we fail and we stay there. We don't want to try it again. Sometimes we're afraid to try what we already tried, you know. No matter if it's 2 years or 3 years, we do not want to try that again. We do not want to repeat that experience again, right? But you should, because I'm here to tell you, let's rethink failure. You have to fail. Everyone in life has failed maybe once, maybe twice. We're talking about even out there, famous people, you know, people that are in movies. If you look at some of the actors' information, what they did, for instance, what's his name? Downey Jr. I can't remember his name, but he's the one that did all the Iron Mans. If you hear his stories, how he failed, he was doing drugs, he fell into drugs, he did all this, but he never gave up. You know, there's a lot of artists out there that never gave up, right? And you're probably saying, well, Free, what does this got to do with keto lifestyle, and what does it got to do with that? Well, it got a lot to do with it, because there's people right now that are afraid to even start the keto lifestyle, that are afraid to even try because they're afraid to fail. One thing I get from a lot of people is, free, man, I don't know if I can do it. I'm afraid I'm going to fail. And I always tell them, you're never going to know what you can do until you try doing it. If you never try doing something, you're never going to know, right? So don't look at failure as a bad thing. Look at it as a new beginning, a new day, right? If you fail tomorrow, guess what happens the next day? A new day. You have a new day to accomplish what you couldn't accomplish the day before. But a lot of times we don't go that route. When we fail hard. And we feel, man, we're not good at this no more. God didn't want me to do this. He didn't have my back on this. I don't know if I should do this. This is probably not meant for me to do. And honestly, it's a new beginning. It's a new beginning. I in the very beginning when I was sick and everything, I could have just gave in the towel. At one time I was just going to give up. It's more easier for a person to give up than to do the hard work, than to make results happen and to work hard every day, right? The other day I had somebody and they tell me, they go, hey, free man, why don't you eat food that you can enjoy now? And I said, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, man, you dropped weight. You really understand. You feel, it's not going to hurt you, right? And I said, well, why? Because I don't miss it, because I don't need it, because I still could make some delicious food, real delicious food, and I don't miss it. I don't miss it at all, And one thing, someone that would never fail on you is your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He'll never, ever, ever fail on you. Even when you think he's failing you, he's not failing you. He's just not ready to do it yet. There's a lot of things that we want to happen right away, but sometimes those things are not ready to happen yet. Be patient. A lot of times I've had people on the phone that say, man, free, I ain't dropped no weight. I don't know if this keto's working. I'm like, you know what? It is working. Have faith. Stay off your scale. They want to get on the scale and they expect their scale to change. And then you got people to tell you, hey, you know what? I drop 5-10 pounds every day. That's a lie. That's a lie. A person in the very beginning, when you're doing the keto lifestyle, you drop water weight, right? And you drop between 15 to 20 pounds of water weight, depending on how big you are and stuff, right? And then the magic starts happening. Then you start dropping weight. And of course, you have the people saying, well, now you got to do it this way. You got to do it this. You know what? I've been doing this for 3.5 years, almost 4. It's probably more than 3.5 years. I got to get the exact amount for y'all, but I've been doing it for a while already, right? And you have people say it ain't sustainable and all this. It's amazing, right? It's awesome. So people don't realize how hard I work. I work really hard. So I do the keto lifestyle. I don't believe in cheating. And I'm not saying that I don't go over my net carbs now. I'm talking about, like, if I go over my net carbs, they're going to be with cauliflower. They're going to be with, vegetables. They're going to be with something that I'm supposed to take during the time you do keto. For some of you that don't know what keto is a high fat, low carb, and it's amazing. It's an amazing thing. It works. And more people are starting to do it, but still they're not doing it right. They're not doing it right. You got these people that think they can turn keto off and turn it on and they're going to get results, but you're not going to get the results. You're going to get what you put into it. That's how I can put it. You're going to get what you put into it. If you want to work hard and you work hard, then you're going to get exactly that. If you slack off and sometimes say and make excuses, you know what? I've been doing good this whole week. Today is a cheat day. I'm going to cheat today. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to eat all this. And then you eat all this food. The bad thing about a cheat day is you're never going to get to that point where this controls this. You'll never get to that point. See, keto is one thing. And learning what food does to you and why you shouldn't eat certain foods and when you should eat certain foods and what you should eat to keep your body going and energy-wise, then you'll be able to control this for this. But I know food's good. I'll be the first one to tell y'all food's good. Food's good. I don't doubt it. Food's good. Matter of fact, I made some today. It's gonna be a recipe book. Today I made some cilantro, jalapeno, honey chicken. Amazing. It's gonna be on my recipe book. There ain't nothing out there like it. These recipes, guys, are mine. And get ready to check it out because it'll be out in December. But shout out to everybody that's on here. We got Maria, we got Yolanda, we got Cindy. Hey, how you doing? So we got Karen, and we got George. What's up, man? I appreciate all of y'all joining me all the time. For some of y'all that are new to my show, make sure you put 1. And if you're watching my show at a later time, put 2. But everything happens. Everything usually happens with people failing, right? Sometimes there's people out there that are geniuses that now got an empire and everything like that, and they were in school and they failed a few times, or they failed at something. You got people that are, I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's the guy from not Pizza Hut, but what's this called? That pizza place? Oh man, it's a famous pizza place. I can't think of it, but he was working for the company at one time, and he was never going to do it because, he failed. He didn't think he was going to do it. And now Papa John's. And now look at his company. Look how big his company is, So you can't just look at failure as a bad thing, because it's going to happen to all of us. I always hear people saying, man, I tried it, but it wasn't for me, so I didn't do it. Or they'll want to make themselves feel good, so they say, you know what, I didn't like to do it. I didn't like what I was doing, so I didn't do it after all. And honestly, that right there is something that they probably should be doing. If you believe in something and it's a dream, then the only way you're going to turn it true is to turn it true, to make it happen, to make it to reality. Now, what makes it reality? You have to get out your comfortable place. You have to accept, you know what, if I'm going to fail, I'm going to get back up. Everything starts with a person failing. And I know you got them people with the big heads that say, you know what, I'm perfect at everything. I'm good at everything. I do everything right. But I promise you, there has been a time in their life where they failed. You learn from failing. You learn from failure. You learn from that. Now, the only thing that was going to hurt you, that's going to hurt anyone, if you stop there, if you accept to get defeated, if you accept, you know what, I failed, and that's it. There's some people out there that say, you know what, say I want to be a teacher, right? They want to be a teacher. Now, all of a sudden, they failed a test or something. They can easily stop, and guess what? They'll never be a teacher. But maybe they're that teacher that everyone needs. Maybe that's what they're supposed to do. So don't look at it right now. If you failed on a test, if you failed on maybe you were trying to get a house and you failed, maybe your credit score or whatever, that doesn't mean that it's over. That just means you're going to get a bigger house. If you've been praying to your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and he hasn't gave you what you wanted yet, guess what? That means he's going to give it to you in bigger ways and bigger times, Guys, like, man, right now, I'm at a point where life is beautiful. Besides of what I'm seeing, you'll be surprised what's going on in my family right now. Like my brother was in the hospital. I just lost my uncle to COVID. So much, last year my niece passed away, and then my stepfather passed away, and everything passed away, right? I mean, that's what happens. People pass away. Recently, I had another friend pass away, and it's one of them things that is going to happen. Like, we don't understand it. We don't understand why it happens, but it's going to happen, right? Because we're here to serve, and then we're gone. We're going to go to heaven, right? But what I'm getting at is I'm even positive. Your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ probably failed. He probably failed, at one time he probably failed. His dad, God. But he didn't give up. Look what he's doing now. So one important thing to remember, if you want to do this keto lifestyle, or if you want to open up a business, or if you want to get this, whatever you want to do, if you fail one time, don't let it end there. Build from it. Build from it. You know, I don't accept failing, but I know it's gonna happen. And if it happens, like I've been on TikTok and looking at people do real estate and everything, and I got other friends that do real estate that do really well. And guess what? I'm here saying, you know what? I want to do some real estate. I want to get my license for that. Can you imagine that? Because here I am juggling a cookbook, doing a cookbook, keto coach, my bakery. I'm doing a lot of things. But that's the kind of mentality that people need to have. And that's the kind of mentality you have if you're not eating sugar no more and if you're doing the keto lifestyle, because your brain just functions. Oh my God, it's an amazing brain, I promise you. And you just keep on building. You know, it's more of a growth mind. It's always about having a growth mindset, right? So how's everybody doing out here right now, man? How are y'all doing? So we got Cynthia, we have Erica. Appreciate y'all being on. Who do we have on Instagram? Do we have anybody on Instagram? What's up, Instagram? How y'all doing, man? I appreciate y'all being on here. Really appreciate y'all. And it's not a lot of people on TikTok. We got right now on TikTok, we got one person online. Appreciate it, Frank. Thank you. Thank you for being on here. You know, the world is like this. The world is about people get enjoyment. This is crazy because I don't like people that do pranks and all that. I'm not into pranks. I mean, because I don't benefit from pranks, right? People laugh at this. People laugh at all these pranks and they waste all their time on this. Like these are the ones that get millions and millions of views and everybody's watching, right? Everybody's watching. But what is that doing for you? Honestly, what is that doing for you? But yet, I can go and look at somebody's show like I can't remember his name, but he says, let's go make that money. Let's go make that money. That's how he says it. And he's awesome because he's trying to tell people, hey, you know, that's another reason why, you know, I'm gonna get into real estate. I'm gonna get into real estate, right? I don't know what part I'm gonna get into, but I want to get into real estate. See, you see what I'm talking about? You see how I think? And 3.5 years ago, before I was the keto coach, before my mind was all clear and everything, I wouldn't think that. There was no way I would think that. I thought, you know what? The farthest I'm ever gonna go, thank God I can DJ. Thank God I can do that. And but now it's different. Now I'm busting doors open. You know, I'm like, man, you know what? If they can do it, why can't I do it? And I'm not just gonna do it the way they doing it. I'm gonna grow from it. You know, a lot of times we listen to people. So people say, you know what? We could be looking at a book. We could be looking at something. And that's where we stay at. We stay at what they thought. We stay at what their thoughts were. And we stay right there, right? But when we can go the next level, when you could tell yourself, you know what? He showed me this, but now I'm going to do this, you know? And then don't stop there, you know? I remember a friend of mine, Lee Rocks, right? Lee Rocks would always tell me, we're like family. Me and him are like family. And I remember he would tell me all the time, he would say, you know, hey, Free, man, never settle. And I was like, man, I got a nice house. What do you mean never settle, right? But now I know what it means, right? And this was years back when, you know, and I know what it means now. That's why I tell people never settle and never give up. Never settle and never give up. And never stop when you fail. You know, have more faith than fear. Have more faith than fear. Because if you do, you're going to be okay. You know, like I said, a lot of people that are out there that been into, you see on TV, you see over here, you see that they're rich. Look, for instance, another guy, Medea, what's his name? His real name, I can't remember his real name. I can't remember these names. But you know, he has his own production company. He has his own everything, right? Everything he has of his own. He even has his own studios, everything, right? When at one time, he said he thought he was going to lose everything, that he wasn't going to do it. So you have to fail to raise yourself up. You have to. You know, so right now, if you're going through, maybe you have an addiction, maybe you're lazy, maybe whatever it could be, right? It could be anything. I'm just talking about in general, right? So whatever it might be, now's not the time to give up. Now's the time to be mad about it. Be mad. You know what? Man, I flunked this test, but I'm going to go back and I'm going to become the president of this business. Whatever you're going to become, you got to remember something. These people were once where you were at. Believe it or not, these people were once where you were at. Yeah, you see these people like, you got some people that were born with a pretty spoon, and they were born with a rich spoon, and they got money coming to them. But that does not mean that they never fail. So one thing that we always do, we're so judgmental about other people. We're so judgmental. And I know, because 3.5 years ago, I used to be like that, and we shouldn't be like that. And we should always think positive. Like, I'm the biggest positive person now. Like, now, you know what I'm saying? Before I wasn't, But, hey, shout out to Erica. Tyler Perry, that's his name. Yeah, Tyler Perry. So, and do more reading. Reading is awesome. Like, I can't read enough. And before, I was like, man, I ain't reading that book. I ain't doing that. But reading is knowledge, man. It's a lot of knowledge, guys. But if you have any questions, man, let me know if you have any questions. So right now, if y'all haven't started the keto lifestyle, I'm not sure why you haven't. And maybe, like, I had this one girl that tell me, hey, you know what, Free, I don't want to do keto because last time I did keto, I didn't lose no weight. I didn't do this. Maybe because you were not doing it right. Maybe because you didn't have a good coach. Maybe because you didn't have somebody on your side. If you call me, I always give my telephone number out, 832-715-2557. But sometimes the hardest thing ever is to call me. Like, I'll give my number out for a reason, right? And I don't get no calls, right? Sometimes I do. Don't get me wrong, I do get calls, but I get people sometimes they want to text forever and everything like that, right? So I tell people you could call me whenever, call me and I'll help you. That's what I'm trying to do. That's my main goal, to help you get out your trap place, to help you grow, get a mind growth set, having a set mind is okay. But having a set mind is something that you might grow up and you say, you know what, I'm a chef and I'm going to stay as a chef. And that's all you think you're ever going to be good at. But having a growth mindset is when you start thinking, you know what, I don't know nothing about real estate, but you know what, I'm learning. As I'm learning, I'm thinking, you know what, I'm going to take it to another level. I'm going to go like this. So I'm going to do real estate. And then guess what, I can cook for them when they come over to the house, and just stuff like that. And think different, and guess what, man? You could even they're trying to come for a house, and guess what? You come out with a keto shirt. I have one of my keto shirts, Keto Coach, and I'm selling a house, and I have my shirt. Look, I'm already talking about selling a house, and I have my shirt, and niggas are like, you know what? Oh man, you do keto? Yeah, boom, boom, bam. Guess what? I got to sell. And again, I don't know nothing about real estate, but I'm going to learn. And if I fail that test, guess what? I'm going to do it again 6 months or whenever they give me the chance to do it again. I'm not going to stop something I believe in, Now, I'm not saying that's something that I think about doing. It's just something that I think can work. That, you know what? It could work. What's wrong with extra money? What's wrong with more money? Nothing's wrong with more money. So you have to think. And look, right now, I'm not targeting nobody. I'm not picking on nobody. I'm not saying nobody. But 85% or 75% of people, they work for someone. And they work for someone hard. They do more work than that person, right? They do a lot of stuff. And a lot of people, everybody, because I haven't been there. You get up, man, I don't feel like going to work, man. They don't appreciate me, man. I do way too much work. And you learn this business, and you learn this business real good. But you're afraid to open your own business. You're afraid of failure, right? And I know this for a fact because there is people, and I won't mention their names till I talk to them, but there's people that run their own rigs. They run their own rigs and they deliver stuff and they do their own hot shot and everything. Well, I remember talking to them. They started working for somebody. And I never forget it because they called me and they said, hey, Free, you think you could do a logo and everything? I said, yeah, but I make an awesome logo, because that's what I do. I'm a graphic artist too. And I said, hey, bro, what's the logo for? He goes, oh, man, I was thinking about it, but I'm not going to do it, man. I'm just thinking about it. I said, thinking about what? He said, man, I'm thinking about doing my own hot shot, man. I'm going to start with some small trucks and then just do my hot shot. I said, bro, if you want it that bad, don't think about it. Let's start doing it. Do it. This guy now has he has three trucks, right? He has a dually, and he's doing awesome. He's doing awesome, awesome, awesome. And I could always look back and say, you know what, man, I did his logo for him. But regardless, when you learn so much at your job, then let's grow from it. The mindset is gonna be like, you know what? My mindset, I'm gonna work here, I'm gonna do good, that's what I'm gonna do. Right? That's your mindset. That's how everybody's set. Go to school, do this, do that, right? And I'm not saying going to school is not a good thing, right? But I'm saying it's not gonna get you to your other level that you want, right? Because if you go to school, you end up making 60, 70,000, 80,000, right? And for people that don't go to school, that become good at something, they're making a way bigger, more amount, and then they're working for themselves and stuff like that. By the grace of God, I've been working for myself for 16 years, about 15 years. I've been working for myself, 15 years. I got a great business, my DJ company. You know, if you need a DJ, let me know. If some of y'all know how I play, y'all know how to put it down. And I just do so many things, guys, but I don't take it for granted. I thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I tell you, at one time, I remember one time in very, very beginning of DJing in the 80s, like in the late 80s. I'm old, right? But in the late 80s, I was DJing. They would drop me off at cantinas. They would drop me off at beer joints, right? At little bars, real small bars, right? And I had no equipment. And they would leave me off a little cassette player or a CD player, whatever it was at the time, right? And I had one little old turntable and everything like that. And I grew from it, guys. I grew from it. I've always been the person, no matter what, to grow from it. One thing everything changed 3.5 years ago when I dropped all this weight. Everything changed when I got saved. I got saved 4 years ago. No, not 4 years ago. I got saved 2 years ago. I got saved. I accepted my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ way before that, but I got saved and they put me in the water and everything like that. But everything has a point to it, guys. And one thing, let's rethink failure. Let's rethink failure. That's what I wanted to do today. I wanted y'all to rethink failure. That's what I wanted to do for y'all. So rethink, man. Rethink how you feel, right? Never let your fear take over your faith. Never. Never be afraid to get out your comfortable place. No matter if anyone's around you and they are not ready for change, because people are not ready for change. But I tell you what, my wife joined me on this keto lifestyle, this amazing keto lifestyle, like a month and a week later. To this day, if my wife wouldn't have joined me, I still was going to do this for me. I still was going to do this for my boys. It's awesome that she's doing it with me, but people always have excuses. I know right now that this girl did not start the keto lifestyle when she could have done it. She could have done it. But her husband interfered in that. Her husband interfered in that. I fell in love all over with my wife again. When my wife's confidence went up, it was amazing. Same thing with me. When she see my confidence was free, I don't understand, free. I mean, I would have never thought this would be you. And I said, I would have never thought it would be me. I would never think I would be helping all these people and on the phone and helping people and crying with people and everything, guys. But, that's why I bring these videos, so I can help you guys, so I can help you, because I've been there. I have been there. Well, shout out to Esperanza. Shout out to Erica. Shout out to Daniel. Appreciate. Oh, that's cousin. What's up, cousin? Shout out to cousin. Shout out to Pete. That's brother. Oh, we got some family in the house, man. Shout out to everybody on Instagram. Appreciate y'all on Instagram. Shout out to Denise. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. I'm sending y'all waves. On TikTok, shout out to, we got users. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all being on here. And guys, so if you're new to my show, make sure you put 1. If you want to watch my show at a later time, put 2. I am going to do, they've been telling me to do, what's it called? I'll say after party. You know what I mean? I can't think of that word, but that word too, right? But I'm gonna play something for y'all guys real quick. All right. This is called "How Bad Do You Want It?" All right. Here we go. The question is, how bad do you want it? Do you really want it so bad that you're willing to give up sleep and give up everything that you're doing right now to change, to get out your comfortable place? Do you want it that bad? Do you want it where you're going to hurt while you make these changes? You're going to feel different. Things are going to get harder. Do you want it that bad? Do you want it to where you're going to go on a journey and you don't know what to expect in that journey? Do you want it that bad? Do you want it where you might lose friends, where you might lose family members, where you might lose people that they're not used to being around you? Do you want it that bad? The question is, how bad do you want it? I know how bad I wanted it. I wanted it so bad I can taste it. I could see myself doing it. I promise you that if you want it so bad and you work hard for it, because nothing comes easy, then you would achieve and accomplish what you've always wanted to accomplish. And you would get over that mountain that at once you thought you couldn't climb and you couldn't get over. How bad do you want it? I accomplished that. And every day I accomplish something else. So the question is, from me to you, is how bad do you want it? Hey, what's up, Tilly? How bad do you want it, guys? How bad do you want it? If you want to work for that person for another 10 years, 15 years, when you know that you already know everything they do, well, it's time to get out your comfortable place. You know, if you're an artist, if you do this, man, right now, you know, I'm on TikTok, right? And TikTok, it's amazing, right? It's not just your social media. I know a lot of people thought it was for kids and everything, but I got on it one time so I could help more people. And I'm almost at 23,000 people, right? And there's more people that got millions, right? Well, some of these people that been on TikTok, they have talent. Some been artists, some been comedians, some been jokes, right? They've been whatever, right? Some been cooks, some been chefs, you know. And they're blowing up. They are growing from it. You don't understand how big these people are, you know. And I'm sure some it's for looks and everything, and they're probably not that big, but still, they're doing something. They are doing something, you know. So anyway, guys, I'm not telling everybody to go on TikTok, but if y'all want to, y'all can. You can find me under Keto Coach. Hey, guys, remember, let's rethink failure. There's no such thing as failing. Get up. Get back up. Right now, if you fail, you get back up and you do something more impossible, more incredible, more better, more larger, more giant, you know. So right now, if you're depressed because like, man, you know what? My credit wasn't that good. I didn't get that house I wanted. Well, guess what? You're about to get that bigger house. You're about to get the bigger house, right? And if God didn't answer your prayer, guess what? He's going to answer your prayer, and he's going to answer your prayer large. He's going to answer it big. What's up, Q? He's going to answer your prayer in a big way, you know, because he answered mine, you know. So don't worry about failing, guys. Have more faith than fear. Hey, guys, I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate y'all. Please be looking out for my cookbook. It's coming out December around Christmas time, guys. Thank y'all so much. If you want to go to my bakery, sugaristhedevil.net. Sugaristhedevil.net. If you want some amazing natural herbal tea, TrishnaTea.com. My tea is called Berry Keto. Berry Keto, guys. Hey, thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. And remember, there's no sting at failing. Take care of it. Y'all be blessed, guys. Bye-bye.
Sugar is the devil. Keto is life. Tea